Working on the mine is really tough work. Non-stop, equipment's breaking. I'm the most needed person on the mine. And now I get to cut this pipe, weld it onto a slurry pump, and have the heart of the whole mine, the big trommel, process the gold, get paid, and go home.
It's been 2 weeks since the Hoffmans have arrived at the Mammoth Valley mine. And the Z plant, with its shaker deck system, is running the bulk of the pay dirt. But the Z plant can only process up to 70 yards of pay dirt per hour. With winter right around the corner, the Hoffmans need to increase production, so they're aiming their guns at reviving the mine's worn-down big TROMMEL plant.
Now I got to make it 4 inches, fit in here perfectly, just so that we can fit the cover back on the slurry pump, and then we can finally run the big trommel.
The big trommel actually runs the most amount of dirt, but it also takes quite a few guys to run. But you should be able to run, 90 plus yards an hour if all's going well. The big trommel, you put the pay dirt in the top in the hopper. It goes through the trommel. It has spray bars in there, and the trommel is spinning and actually trying to break up the gold from the dirt. It goes through a set of screens in the trommel, drops into the sluice boxes, and that's where we catch the gold. At the end, the tailings go into the slurry pump, and the slurry pump pumps the tailings through a big black pipe all the way 1,000 feet and into a pit. So we're actually reclamating as we're running. The problem with the big trommel is that if one thing isn't working properly, you can have a big mess. The one thing goes wrong, it's a domino effect, and all these other issues are going to pile on.
A broken down slurry pump is the reason the big trommel isn't running. And Sparky has been tasked with coming up with a fix.
How we looking?
Hey man, we're looking good, but I've never done this before.
Listen to me. Most of this stuff up here, most of us haven't done before. You understand? Just do the best you can. We got to run this plant, okay?
Yeah.
All right, keep it safe, but go quick. I believe in the kid. He's working his ass off. We're asking him to do things he's never done before, but you know what? That's what this is all about. I got to get this third plant running. I got to get gold coming out of this thing quick. It's already getting cold, and we're running out of time.
It's important to get this thing running as fast as we can. This is the time to be making gold because it's almost towards the end of the season. Wow, I'm gonna go get a fire extinguisher.
He says it'll warm this up in 5 minutes.
I was thinking we could move that wherever we want the heat. If we're back there, bring the tank in, use this.
You're right.
And we just move it. Where you and I are working is where we need the heat.
Okay.
This morning at 5 o'clock, everything was frozen, frosted up. It's time that we need heat. Jack and I sometimes for hours will be standing in one spot running that table, and with no heat, that would be brutal. So we're getting the heater hooked up. We're gonna have heat. Jack and I can work all night long.
The Hoffmans need to clean another 270 ounces of gold to meet their season goal. So it's critical that Jack and Jim protect their wash equipment from the freezing temperatures.
Where do you want this? Right
here.
Okay.
In our gold room, I keep heat in that all the time because I don't want any of my equipment to freeze up. I've had problems with that in the past. Wrong way.
It's lefty.
Righty-tighty.
No, not in gas. It's opposite.
Yeah, that's what I'm finally doing now. The key to this whole thing is gold. So I'm making sure that I have everything to clean it up and get it taken care of. You ready?
Oh, let there be heat.
Let there be heat. Tank is on. Sounds like it's going.
I sure hope so.
Well, I see a nice blue flame in there. Okay.
Let there be heat. Holy moly, that's gonna heat up.
You know, at the end of the season, it gets cold. Have warm clothes, take care of yourself. Make sure that you have oil in your heater. That's cool.
No excuse. We got to keep working even if it's cold.
Oh, they're different sizes. Well, that's great.
You can pop that side out over there, another 1/4 of an inch.
Back at Big Trommel, Al Gaylord has come in to help fix the plant's crucial slurry pump.
If we can hold it up out here to the side where I can get one bolt in.
Al has spent 8 years on this mine and knows this troublesome wash plant better than anyone.
So we worked all night. We gotta get this done by today. Todd's been hounding me about it. And this fitting has gotta be perfect because it's makeshift. If this doesn't get done right, we lose another day and possibly my job.
We're almost out of time. We got to get that big trommel running. Winter's setting in. If we don't get this thing running right now, we're screwed.
This sucker's heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Supposed to have this done already.
Big trommel, it's a big piece of crap. Ooh, there's so many things wrong with it. Unfortunately, it's what we got. It can have a fighting chance of getting gold. They're definitely gonna make Jason happy and this pocket's filled.
After 36 hours of work, Sparky finally finishes the slurry pump fix.
We're good, Al?
Okay. We're ready to fire it up. You just yell at me and I'll pop the water.
To supply the Big Trommel with fresh water, Todd has brought in a brand new water pump.
This is a monster diesel pump. I leased this and brought it on a barge up here. It's got a double suction here. So I'm actually bringing a huge amount of water volume. I want to run everything with this one pump. So I got high hopes for it.
We test all these bolts, everything tight.
Should be. They run them on with the rattle gun.
This is a big day for the Big Trommel. We have a new freshwater pump on it. We have a new slurry pump on it. It's always kind of hit or miss with this thing. There's so many moving pieces.
I'm naming this plant the hot mess because that's exactly what's about ready to happen. I've ran some big bad plants before. This one's right up the top of the list.
Hey, Alan, we're about ready. This is our major production machine. Every day we're down on this Big Trommel, we're down 25, 30 ounces. This plant has to run or we will not hit our goal.